Gigi and Sky, tonight we're going to read The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrice Potter. Once upon a time there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail and Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a very big
fir tree.
Very good. Now, my dear, said old Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's
garden.
Your father had an accident there. He was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor. Now run along and don't get into mischief. I'm going out. Then old Mrs. Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella, went through the wood to the baker's. She bought a loaf of brown bread and 5
cotton buns.
You're getting tired. Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail, the good little bunnies, went down the lane to gather
blackberries.
But Peter, who was very naughty, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's
garden.
That's right, and squeezed under the gate. First he ate some lettuces, some French beans, and then he ate some
radishes.
That's right. And then feeling rather sick, he went to look for some
parsley. They're silly.
But round here the cucumber from who shall he meet?
But Mr. McGregor.
That's right.
Right.
Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out,
Stop thief!
Nelly. Peter was most dreadfully frightened. He rushed out over the garden, for he forgot the way back to the gate. He lost one of his shoes among the
cabbages.
And the other shoe amongst the
potatoes.
After losing them, he ran on 4 legs and went faster, so I think he might have got away altogether. And he not officially run into a gooseberry net, got on caught by large buttons on his jacket. It was a blue jacket with brass buttons.
Quite new.
Peter gave himself up for lost. He shed big tears, but sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows, who flew to him in great excitement and implored him to
exert himself. Sorry, guys.
Mr. McGregor came up with a sieve which he intended to pop on top of Peter, but Peter wriggled out just in time, leaving his jacket
behind him,
and rushed into the tool shed and jumped into a can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in if he not had so much
water in it.
Mr. McGregor was quite sure that Peter was somewhere in the tool shed, perhaps hidden underneath a flower pot. He began to turn him over carefully, looking under each. Presently, Peter sneezed. Ka-choo!
Ka-choo!
Mr. McGregor was after him.
In no time.
Tried to put his foot upon Peter, who jumped out of the window, upsetting 3 plants. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor and was tired of running after Peter. He went back to his work. Okay, go ahead.
Peter Rabbit sat down to rest. He was out of breath and trembling with fright, and he had not the least idea which way to go. Also, he was very damp with sitting in that can.
Very good. After a time, he began to wonder about going lippity-lippity not very fast. Looking all around, he found a door in the wall, but it was locked, and there was no room for a fat little rabbit to squeeze.
Underneath.
An old mouse was running in and out over the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the wood. Peter asked her the way to the gate, but she had such a large pea in her mouth that she could not answer. She only began to shake her head at him. Peter
began to cry.
Then he tried to find his way straight across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Presently, he came to a pond and Mr. McGregor filled his water cans. A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched, as if it were alive. Peter thought it was best to go away without speaking to her. He had heard about cats from his cousin, Little
Benjamin Bunny.
He went back towards the tool shed, but suddenly, quite close to him, he heard noise of a hoe. Scritch, scratch, scratch, scritch. Peter scuttered underneath the bushes. But presently, as nothing happened, he came out and climbed upon the wheelbarrow, peeped over. The first thing he saw was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was turned towards Peter, and behind him was
the gate!
That's right. Peter got down very quietly off the wheelbarrow, stole right as fast as he could, go along straight, walk behind some black currant bushes. Mr. McGregor caught sight of him at the corner, but Peter did not care. He slid underneath the gate and was safe at last in the wood.
Outside the garden.
Outside the garden. Mr. McGregor hung up the little jacket and shoes for Scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Peter never stopped running or looked behind him till he got home to the big fir tree.
Fir tree.
He was so tired that he flopped down upon the nice soft sand of the floor of the rabbit hole, shut his eyes. His mother was busy cooking. She wondered what he'd done with his clothes. It was his second little jacket and pair of shoes that Peter had
In the fourth night.
Very good. Oh, I'm sorry to say that Peter was not very well during the evening. His mother put him to bed and made some chamomile tea. She gave a dose of it to Peter. 1 tablespoon to be
Taken at bedtime.
That's right. But Flopsy, Wopsy, and Cottontail, the good little bunnies, had bread and milk and blackberries for supper. The end.
The end. Okay, everybody.
All right.